Right. Good morning, everyone. Producers Club, Friday. My God, it's December 1st. Yeah, I love that. I love Matthew's hands. That's great energy, Matthew. I love it. Well, seriously, no better way to kick off December without hearing from our special guest that I've got with us this morning. I'd love to welcome to the call Rich Rodriguez and his SoCal Warehouse team. Rich, thank you so much for being on here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I love your background too. Is that one of your properties?
Yeah, that's actually something that we took down. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Good way to kind of put that in there. So, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone here on the call? Tell us a little bit about your relationship with real estate.
Absolutely. So I got into business about 8 years ago. And about 8 years ago, I got in from an administrative point of view. I worked for a title company early on doing marketing, went shortly after to a mortgage company to do some more marketing stuff. I was still in college at the time. As soon as I graduated college, I already knew I was already licensed. I think a couple months prior to me finishing up college at Cal State Long Beach, and I went straight into residential. Went straight into residential. I, did the work, put in the work. I was closing anywhere from 15, 20 sides. Year one, and yeah, that was about 4 years in, and that's when I pivoted to start learning and educating myself on commercial transactions because I was leaving money on the table. I had clients that had requirements. I just didn't even know where to start. And that takes me to where I'm at today, where I have broken in, kind of cracked the code, is what I like to call it. And yeah, just making some great stuff happen now as it pertains to commercial real estate brokerage.
And a lot of people, will explore other opportunities in real estate. And I think you've like jumped into the commercial sector now, full time. You have a team. How many people on your team?
Yeah, so there's 5 of us, including a marketing team.
What do you guys do to generate business? Talk a little bit about that because your lead gen is real special. What do you guys do to get transactions? What does that look like?
We make a lot of contacts.
How many? How
We make a
many?
lot of contacts. It's pretty straightforward. So we cold call. We cold call aggressively. Listings are leverage. I think everyone on the call is probably aware of that. And when you get a listing on the board, you get inbound leads, right? Whether that be buyers or tenants that are calling, and it's just leverage. And and it has enabled me to establish a team because I'm only one person, right? And with that being said, now there's enough bandwidth for others to pick up so nothing's falling through the cracks. You mentioned how many contacts. My objective is at least 10 contacts, like actual conversations. I'm making at least 70 dials, like through 70, at least 70 dials through, auto dialer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that equates to anywhere from 2 to 3 hours of cold calling.
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 hours of cold calling.
I was
Right?
gonna say, why do you call? Why do you choose that method of lead generation? Because you guys are beasts. I've seen you here in the offices and seen your social media, which we'll get into in a minute. But like, why do you choose that method of lead generation?
It's efficient. It is efficient. I don't have to. I used to door knock when I was doing residential. I used to door knock and I used to get business from that as well. And I just don't like for me, like if I could live life by design, I'm going to live life by design. I didn't enjoy door knocking. I just didn't. And not saying that I love cold calling, like I'm super excited, but I enjoy it a lot more than door knocking, right? It's efficient. I can make a lot of contacts from the comfort of my office, right? I don't have to be out there in the scorching heat. And obviously the main point would be that my client, right? My ideal client is very open and receptive to a phone call. Right. So it's just a perfect combination for me to leverage cold calling as a form of generating listing business to leverage to get buyer tenant um, customer clients as well.
That makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of people on this call that are probably hesitant to jump into that method of lead generation. What do you do to keep yourself motivated or to get through that? Or any tips you have for anyone here on the call that is thinking about tipping their toe into that in 2024?
That's a phenomenal question. And I think the way I've just lived my life, just purposeful and really understanding what your goals are, having goals for yourself. Like I have like hairy, audacious goals that I know that are going to require me to put myself in uncomfortable situations. So whether I feel like doing it or not, that goal, that future self, that future Richard Rodriguez inspires me to make those calls. I'll even if the feeling of not doing it is there, or this feeling of fear. And once you're doing it, you realize that this is not that hard, or it's not that complicated, or it's not as scared. Like I did it, like I didn't die, right? And a lot of it is just soul searching. Soul searching. Look, we are all in the same industry, right? But the reality is, business in general is pretty straightforward. You can implement business strategies across any industry, and more than likely, if you just follow 1, 2, 3, you're gonna get 4. You're gonna get the equation of what that's gonna be, and that's business production, right? But I personally believe what separates me is just literally the fact that I am on a mission. Like I am on a mission. I know exactly what that looks like. I reflect. You know, I'm not just in the business. I'm looking over the business, and I have something that's pushing me to grow every single day and to inspire others to grow every single day. So it's really I think it's in the spirit. It's a spirit. It's a spiritual thing. Like for me, like none of this is like everything that you see in the physical realm is an after effect of what happened internally with that individual. And all that fear, all that doubt, look, it's normal. But what are you going to do to overcome and grow on a day-to-day basis? So for me, it's just literally I'm inspired by my future self and the goals that I have.
And you share that energy with so many people around you by including them in those activities. So, for example, I saw, I think it was yesterday, that you had a group of agents together in the conference room and you guys were doing live cold calling. So, explain that a little bit. Like, what do you guys do during that practice, and why do you implement that?
Yeah, so live cold calling is awesome because it just creates an awesome environment. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me sharp, right? Because I see myself like a Moses. I'm taking people to the promised land. That's exactly how that's how I see my life. Therefore, I need to stay sharp. I need to practice what I preach. I need to be excellent at anything that I'm doing, right? And that's business included, because that takes up a lot of hours of my day. So I'm going to do it with excellence. So it keeps me sharp, and it also gives people no excuse. Like, look, you can do this, right? And then it goes back to my point. If you're not doing it, what is getting in the way? Let's take care of that. Is it your health? Is it your marriage? Is it your relationship with your family? Is it your friend? What is it? Or is it your vices? Because why would you want to succeed in business when you don't even have these other areas of your life situated? When you succeed, you're just going to sabotage even more. So for me, it's just like, just keeping people accountable. Like you say you want to succeed, what are you willing to do to succeed? Because to whom much is given, much is required.
You have to push yourself so much farther and into the uncomfortable, like you shared, to actually grow. Because if we do the same things every day, we're literally cementing our mediocre, that middle without any growth. right? If we're not putting ourselves in that uncomfortable space, it's an amazing activity. If you guys don't follow Rich, so let's, shift this a little bit to the social media aspect. Kim, I think you can probably drop his, I know Instagram, particularly in the chat, but Rich does these activities, does them as stories on his Instagram. He will put the call on speaker and will share what that conversation looks like. Like, why do you share that with the outside world too? Not just realtors, but why do you share that with the outside world?
Yeah, really just to create opportunities for others. And, I've been blessed to have mentors. I've been blessed to have mentors and people that have guided me. And I know that there's I know that there's an abundance of everything. And I know that I create literally anything that I put my mind to, right? So I share those conversations with others so that they may be inspired to go out and if it's prospecting for commercial business, go ahead and do it. I provide free scripts. I'll give this stuff away, but the reality is I know that a lot of people are probably not going to do it. Like and why I post these videos is so that people realize, like, look, it's not that hard, but there comes a time where you're gonna have to look yourself in the mirror and look back and ask yourself, did I live my life to the fullest potential? And if I could be some type of a vessel to inspire and encourage somebody to push themselves so that they can become their best future self, then I think my job here on earth will be more than complete. And money can't buy that. Money can't buy the smile that I see on people's faces when they come in proximity with my energy, period.
I love that, Rich. It's like we have to think about things in a much bigger realm than just real estate or just our job, and service the whole person, not only our clients, but also ourselves.
You said it best right there. You said it best right there.
I love that. Dollfast, and some people may be asking this as well, what are you using as resource to find names and clients and people to lead generate that much every day?
Yeah, so I have a pretty, I would say, not, I wouldn't call it too unique or vigorous or anything, but it is like a two-step process. So I do skip trace my own leads. I used to rely on title or a lender or outside party, third party service provider to provide leads. And I was doing that for a while. And it made me realize, like, okay, that's awesome. But then some of the leads weren't good. Like, I was just calling on leads that were duds, really. And then, it took me a while to realize, like, why am I relying on someone else to give me what my conversion rates can be? Why am I relying on them to feed me leads when I can take control, right, and create a higher converting system behind it, right? So what I do, I leverage batch leads. It's called batch leads or prop stream, and those two companies are companies that you could gather lists from. So you could put parameters. I want a list of every single multifamily property in the city of Bellflower, California. And you could even specify 10 to 12 units. So now you're only literally you're getting a list of 10, 11, and 12 units. Like, you could get super detailed, or you could do all of California. Like the whole, like these databases are they're just as good as any title companies. Better, because you get it instantly. You don't have to wait on anybody, right? You don't have to wait on anybody to determine the outcome of your success, right? So that's what I do. I get my list. You could skip trace. With skip tracing, all that means is you're getting the full contact information now, because through PropStream and direct and batch leads, what those services provide are with just their normal subscription, which is like $60-70 a month. And that's another thing. Invest in your business. You are operating a business. Treat it like a business. Treat it like an Apple. Seriously. And so they offer that the basic subscription will offer you, just like, you have access to 10,000 exports, right? A list which will give you the property address, obviously, the mailing address, and the owner's contact, like, name, right? Whether it's in the trust, best in the trust name. And then from there, within there, you could actually skip trace, which means they'll give you emails, phone numbers directly for everyone on that list. Right. But I take it to another service provider, which is direct skip to skip trace, because I think it's a little cheaper. And in my opinion, from my experience, from my experience, the quality of data is better. The quality of the data is better. So I could essentially, this is what I do. I'll look a city up or look a parameter up. I'm ready to call a new list. I like to keep the list not too large, right? Because I want to make sure that I could recycle it, in a timely manner. So I'll go, like me, a comfortable list would be a list of, let's call it 250. 250, I'll get that list, and then from that list, I'll skip trace it, and then I'll upload it onto my auto dialer Mojo that I use, $999, and I'm gung ho. Gung ho.
Rich, what you just shared there, your process was phenomenal.
Invaluable. It's invaluable, guys. And if you want more content, I put my Instagram in the chat, and that's where a lot of, I'm like giving this stuff out. Like I'm just giving it away at this point.
I love that. And like I said, that the thought that goes behind that, and I think you would agree here that don't let the analysis paralysis of finding names and numbers and the perfect amount, or don't let that hold you back from doing the dials, right? You're getting experience.
Don't let nothing hold you back. Don't let nothing hold you back. And reality is, the only thing holding you back is yourself. It's the excuses you give yourself. It's the passes you give yourself. And it's in those moments where you really need to, like I said, think 10 years down the line, are you going to regret not making that call? Are you going to regret not getting up early and getting that workout in, or eating better, so that you could have more energy throughout the day and have a higher output? Like those are the thoughts that come to my head, right? And then before you know it, look, humans are creatures of habit. Before you know it, that's just who you are. So now you are literally effortlessly doing this, and it is compounding upon itself, and you are a machine. You just become a machine. You become a magnet to everything you wish, desire.
Well, speaking of being a machine, and you touched a little bit on that, staying right outside of your work is so important. So what are some of the things that you do? Like, what does your day look like? And what does it look like outside of calling? Like, what are some tips or things you want to share to stay in that energy space?
Get your burpees in. Get your burpees in. Look, I wake up at 4:30 every day. I have a beautiful wife, and she wakes up at 4:30 every day, and just the fact that she's willing to wake up and do the hard work right there, boom, motivates me automatically. And I immediately, if you take nothing from this, get into a state of rampage appreciation. You may not feel grateful when you wake up immediately. You get yourself in a state of rampage appreciation. I don't know what you believe in, whatever you believe in. If you believe in God, whatever you believe in, whatever, the universe, start thanking. Start thanking for everything. So I get up at 4:30, right? I get up, brush my teeth, do a quick little stretch, and I'm a Christian, so I get straight into the word. I get into a quick Bible study, I reflect, and I get into a straight of gratitude. I thank God for my house. I thank God for my finances. I thank God for my wife. I thank God for my health. I thank God for the proximity of the gym. I thank God for the office. I thank God for the opportunities that people have given. I thank God for anything and everything I could think of. I thank God for the hot coffee that I have. And I'm telling you, if you take nothing else from this call, try that. Right? So I do that. And then I have a journal here. I have a journal. These things it's incredible. So it has a morning reflection. So boom, boom, boom. My whole day is already scheduled. So I don't even have to think about what I'm going to do. I schedule my day the day before. I don't have to think about what I'm going to do today. I already know exactly what needs to get done. And so I do that for about an hour. I go straight to the gym and I get a crazy workout. I get my heart rate shot through the roof. I'm that crazy guy at the gym just screaming, doing burpees. And then I come back, take a shower, get ready, and then head to the office. I'm at the office by 8 to 8:30. And I'm cold calling. I'm script practicing on the way to work with team members, and I'm cold calling, right? And something I started practicing is in the middle of my cold calling session, I'll go on a walk. I know you probably see me going on walks all the time. That walking time during my day has been life-changing, because it allows me to step away and create and reflect and even get back to state of gratitude. Thank God, like we live in Southern California. People travel the world to be there, to come here, and we are just here. How dare we, like, not be grateful or have a complaint? How dare we? When we are healthy, we could create, we could think on our own, we could eat. And then it's just by that point, literally, like if I really wanted to call it quits by 1 o'clock, I could, right? But then after 1 o'clock, I'm really working on the business at that point, right? I'm checking in on what the pipeline is looking like, checking in on team members. I do have a commercial agent academy, right? So I have a couple of students that I'm mentoring through there and just helping them, just helping them break through. Not only just in business, because I'm telling you right now, it's what you do outside that produces the results, right? Therefore, so I wrap up my day about 5 o'clock. I have dinner with my wife every single day. I will never miss that. I will never miss that. After dinner, we're going to walk. I'm in bed by 8:30. I'm reflecting before I go to bed. I call out 3 wins, 3 big wins, and I already have my entire day planned out. I'm actually putting out a video next week, Momentum Monday, what I do on a Monday, and that's pretty much every single day, though. Doesn't change.
Rampant appreciation, that phrase needs to be embodied in all of us in 2024. I feel like, especially during the holiday season, we get that stress and the family and all of this happens, but sometimes we don't stop to think that we have a cell phone, or that we have a roof over our heads, or that we have clothes to put on our back, or that we're grateful for the people that are in our lives, and that just explodes 10x, right? I love that. Rich, one of the other things, I know we're kind of wrapping up here, but I really want to make sure that we touch on this. One of the things that I know you and your team really excel at is putting on events. And I had the pleasure to attend one of your most recent events that you put on. Talk to us a little bit about, what thought process goes into that, maybe some tips of how to make an event really successful in lead generating in whatever way you're wanting to desire.
Yeah, so for me, events are really just to give back to the agent community. What I will start doing is just hosting more events next year, and that's going to transcend into more marketing opportunities for SoCal Warehouses, right? The team, the company that I'm pushing as it pertains to real estate brokerage, and it's just a great opportunity to get content, guys. People are watching what you're doing. You have a sphere of influence, and then even your past clients and even clients that you don't know that are coming your way are watching you. So just creating visuals, creating an experience, right? Creating a community that looks appealing. People want to be a part of something. You guys are all on this Zoom call because you want to surround yourself with people that want to grow, for example, right? That want to learn. Well, that's awesome. Well, how can we do this at a bigger scale? Events are a great opportunity to do that. And I will be doing a lot more events next year. That's something that's definitely in the calendar, and a lot of it is going to be, like I said, giving back to the agent community, back to the agent community.
Looking forward into 2024, I mean, you said you're going to be doing more events next year. Where's the opportunity that you see in the market this next year, and what could we be focusing on to succeed?
Investing, getting creative with seller finance. Like literally, I think the best so I believe that there's a lot of opportunity right now. Like I said, I'm doing more commercial right now, so I'm dealing with businesses that, I mean, even if they're not doing the greatest, like they're still ready to invest in their business because they're business owners, right? So I don't really know what's going on in the residential world. 100%, I still do residential assignments. I still have clients. I still have closings in residential, but there's no excuse, right? So just getting creative, making the contacts, continue to make the contacts 1,000%, and expand your services, expand your knowledge, right? What that means, if that means starting to do more commercials, starting to prospect a little bit into commercial, if that means going to classes and studying like finance, like how can I, with a financial calculator, calculate what the monthly payment would be for someone that wants to purchase something, but maybe can't get it conventionally financed. But you're an agent, you're a broker. You're supposed to negotiate. You're supposed to be able to have all these skill sets underneath in your arsenal, so that you could create these opportunities for others, add value. In turn, you will get paid. Period. I think people are coming at it from the wrong approach. I was once there myself. I want to make money. I want to make money. No, I want to make impact. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, the money follows.
You want to make impact. That's great. You know, because when you're focusing on that, the money does follow, right? The money does follow.
100% value. Money is just all money is it's a transfer of value, right? People aren't gonna they pay for value.
I
So the
love
more
that.
valuable you become, the more valuable someone could become, technically the more money they can make. And that's what I mean. Business is simple. Business is simple. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. I think we overcomplicate it. You know, business is an equation. It's simple. It's, you know, repeatable. It's trackable, right? I think we overcomplicate it as humans and as realtors. Rich,
Complexity is the killer of dreams.
100% the killer of dreams. God, you have the best words and phrases, man, to evoke. So we have a couple minutes left here on the call. Rich, do you have anything to share with anyone? Any last words, things you'd like to share?
I just like to encourage everybody on the call. I mean, look, you guys made it to 8 a.m. call. It shows a lot about you. I think probably, I would say maybe 50% of the agents in the nation are probably still asleep. So you have something within you already. I think it's a matter of surrounding yourself with the right people. Continue to elevate, continue to learn, invest into yourself. Do not think today, think long term. Like today is just a moment of time. It's important, but think long term. What I mean, and that what it's done for me is helped me not have a perspective of lack, but a perspective of abundance, because I know what I do today, I will see the fruits of it tomorrow. So it's just an encouragement for everyone on here. You guys are studs. You guys are awesome. You guys got what it takes. Keep going. Keep going.
Rich, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I know he dropped his Instagram there in the chat, everyone. Please, please, please go follow Rich. I'm telling you, his content daily is something that will not only motivate you, but give you amazing ideas to help gain more clients on a daily basis. He's very open to sharing and to having conversations. So just know that we all build each other together as this community, and Rich is a perfect example of that, and really, really proud to be in business with this guy. You know, thank you everyone for again waking up and being with us on this Friday. Go out and make this the most productive day you have ever had in your career. Take this energy and practice rampant appreciation for the rest of this month, the rest of this week, the rest of next year. Practice this every day. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and have a good week. Have a good week.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Hallie.
Of
Okay.
course. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Thanks, Rich.
Take care.
Crushed it, man. Crushed it.